Good morning, everyone. It's Laura. Free Practice Friday. Cheers. If you have your tea or your coffee. Let me go put this down. You should put yours down too so we can practice. So it is a beautiful foggy day this morning, and I wish I could show you the view. I guess I could, but I'd never get the camera reset right. It's feeling cooler today. I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not a warm weather person. And a couple days ago, I was saying to someone, it kind of feels like we're over the hump of the hot of summer, and that it's getting to be cooler. So this is, we sometimes call this Indian summer. In Chinese medicine, it's called late summer. So we have early summer and late summer. Early summer is the fire season, the super hot weather. And then late summer is as summer's kind of merging into fall or becoming fall. So I'm all excited about this. I have some windows open. I have the screen door open, which is really nice to, the weather outside, the temperature outside is actually cooler than it is inside, which is amazing. And so anyway, I'm looking forward to fall. So it's nice to have the windows open instead of having it be so hot and humid. It's still humid, but it's been so hot and so humid and, in the upper 80s, low 90s, and really, really humid, and we get a lot of rain here. So it's nice to be able to have the windows open, to have a little bit of a breeze come through the house. So anyway, let's get started. I want to do bone tapping today, which you might have done before. This is sometimes just called tapping. There's been some questions about another thing that's known as tapping is the emotional freedom technique, or EFT, and I think they've kind of co-opted the term tapping, or that in modern culture is more familiar to people. So we can call this bone tapping. And it's a way to wake up the meridians. It's a way to put a little bit of a vibration into the bones, and that those little micro vibrations will actually bring healing juices to the bones. So it's kind of like when they talk about micro tears, when you're lifting weights and you get the pain the next day or a couple days later after you've lifted weights. And what that is little micro tears in the muscles, and the body sees that as trauma, and they say, oh, we need to send healing juices to those muscles to fix those muscles, and that actually creates more muscle tissue, and that's how your muscles get bigger. So it's a similar concept in bones. They say that weight-bearing activity is good for people with osteoporosis, for everybody, but for people with osteoporosis, because things like walking, there's a little bit of an impact, and it helps to regenerate the bones a little bit, or at least stop them from degenerating. So we're going to do bone tapping today, and I'm going to back up so that you can see my whole body, and we'll get going. So we do this in a particular order. We're going to start with the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, almost at the chest, and work down the inside of the arm, and then we're going to come up the outside of the arm. We do that on both sides, and then we'll do our lower back and the bottom part of our body. So basically our hips and thighs and down to the lower legs, and we'll go outside, down the outsides, and up the insides of the legs. We do each of these sets 3 times. So we start with one arm, so we can start, I'm going to take my left hand and place that out, tap with my right hand. I'm going to go down the inside, up the outside, down, up. So cycle of 3. And then switch hands and go down the inside of the other arm, up the outside, down, up. And then we'll do the same thing with the lower body. So, when you're tapping, you use the palm of your hand. There's an important acupuncture point there. And it also, in my opinion, it gives a little bit more impact than if you were just tapping with your fingers. So this almost could be like a slapping kind of movement, like slap someone on the back. It's more of an open palm, but you're not doing it in any sort of aggressive way. Just do it to the extent that it feels good to you. I have to say that sometimes for my legs, I like to do it a little bit harder. It feels really good. And so, use your own judgment and do it in a way that feels good to you. It shouldn't hurt. It should actually feel good. So we're going to get a nice stable stance. Remember, you're going to use the palm of your hand. So I'm going to place my left hand out in front of me. I do it palm up because it's easier to access the points on the way down. And then I'm going to start with the inside of my shoulder. And we'll tap, we'll do 3 times. So you sometimes see this done 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. You can do it any number of times, but numerologically in Chinese culture, it's 3 is a very significant number, and so multiples of 3 are usually good. Also, odd numbers I've heard are more fortuitous than even numbers. So you could do it 6 times, but really, if you were to choose between, you would choose between 3 and 9, maybe. So we'll do 3 just to get the gist of it. And we're going to do a regular rhythm. So let me demonstrate first. So we're just going to tap throughout the body, and I'll go over this. We'll go through all the points. So it's kind of a tap, 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 pause, and then tap, 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 pause. You can really do it any way that feels good to you. But this is said to keep the vibration going through the bones if you have a regular rhythm. If you pluck a guitar string and you do that on a regular rhythm, so you pluck, 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 it'll keep the vibration of the string going. Whereas if you kind of pluck, pluck, and then wait, and it dies out, and pluck, and then you pluck it again, and it's uneven. If you watch the vibration of the string, it's very chaotic. So we want to have a rhythmic beat here. So left arm is out, palm up. We're going to use, remember, the palm of the right hand, and we're going to start with the kind of inside of the shoulder where it reaches the chest. We're going to tap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Go to the inside of the elbow. 1, 2, 3. Inside of the wrist. 1, 2, 3. Then the palm of the hands. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like you're clapping. Then we'll flip the hand over. Do the back of the hand 3 times. Outside of the wrist, or the top of the wrist. Outside of the elbow. And then the back, the upper shoulder. So you're not going to be able to reach all the way back there. You may not even be able to reach it all with the palm of your hand, but do the best that you can. I kind of hit the top and the back of my shoulder. And you can even do it more to the outside if that's easier for you. But most of us can't hug ourselves so well that we can reach way over and actually pat ourselves on the back. So let's start with that. We'll do 3 rounds of it, even though we kind of did 1. We'll do 3 total. So we start with the inside of the shoulder and the upper chest. 1, 2, 3. Elbow. 1, 2, 3. Wrist. 1, 2, 3. Palms. 1, 2, 3. Flip it over. 1, 2, 3. That's the back of the hand. Wrist. 2, 3. Outside of the elbow. 2, 3. And then the shoulder. 2, 3. Shoulder, upper back. Palm goes up again. Inside of the chest. 1, 2, 3. Elbow. 1, 2, 3. Wrist. 1, 2, 3. Palms. 1, 2, 3. Back of the hand. 2, 3. Wrist. 2, 3. Elbow. 2, 3. And then the back. 2, 3. One more round. 1, 2, 3. Elbow. 1, 2, 3. Wrist. 2, 3. Palm. 2, 3. Flip it over. Back of the hand. Outside of the wrist. Outside of the elbow. And then the back. Good. Now put your hands down and just focus your attention on your whichever arm you tapped. So for me, that was my left hand, my left arm. And see if you can feel any differences between the arm you tapped and the arm that you didn't tap. Just make a note of that. If you have any comments about that, I'd love to hear what you felt the differences are. And then we'll go to the other hand. So for me, that's my right hand sticking out in front, palm is up. Left hand will come and tap. Remember, we're tapping with the palm. We start with the inside of the shoulder or the upper chest. 1, 2, 3, elbow, wrist, palms, flip the hand, back of the hand, wrist, elbow, and the back. Flip the hand again, go into the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, the palms, flip the hand, the wrist, the elbow, and the back. One more round, shoulder, elbow, wrist, palms, back of the hand, outside of the wrist, back of the elbow, and the back. Good. And then the hands come down. So they might feel a little more even right now, or you might be feeling, for example, I can feel tingling up and down my whole arm, and I can also feel it in my left hand, which is the one that was tapping. So that makes sense. There's a lot of blood coming to this hand, and of course we're bringing all the blood to the joints and to the arm that we were tapping. So the next part of this is we're going to make a very loose fist. So loose, like you can see yourself through them if you were to look through. So just very gentle, loose wrists. And we're going to drum our back. Drum the lower back. If you can get up to where the kidneys are, if you're flexible, you can do that. And you can drum all around. You can even go down low, a little bit to the sides. Wherever it is that feels, see where it feels good to you. And if you want, you can rub. So you can drum with the open part, the O of your hands. You can drum with the back, with your knuckles, if that feels good, or the back of the hand. And then we're just going to rub around with whatever part of your hand feels good. You can even open your palms. Just rub everything around down there. You can give yourself a little back rub. So we're opening up all these energy centers. We're awakening the blood and the chi. And just rub all around. And then we're going to start with the lower body. So we're going to start with the head of the femur, which is kind of at the top of the hip. It is at the top of the hip. So where the leg hinges off to the side, you'll feel a bit of a bone sticking out there. And that's the first place that we're going to tap. This, for this one, we're actually going to use fists. They don't have to be tight fists, but I find it works better to kind of almost hammer on the head of the femur rather than slapping with flat palms or open hands. So we're going to knock on the head of the femur, and then we're going to open our hands again. We're going to do the sides of the knees. I'm going to take my slippers off here. It's actually cool enough to be wearing slippers, which is exciting. So we hammer on the head of the femur, open the palms, do the outsides of the knees, the outside of the ankle. We'll actually be leaning over doing this, but just so you can see this, the outside of the ankle, the top of the foot, the inside of the ankle, the insides of the knees, and then we're going to rub what's called a quad, kind of the opening of the hips. And we're just going to rub up and down. So where the fold is in your hips, you're just going to rub up and down there 3 times with the blade of your hand, or the karate chop of your hand. You're going to just rub there 3 times. So let's go through that again quickly. So we're going to loose fist. We're going to knock on the sides of the femurs, open the palm, outsides of the knees. I don't know if you can see me. Can't back up much more. Outsides of the ankles, tops of the feet, insides of the ankles. You might want a wider stance. Insides of the knees, and then rubbing the quad. And I do it, you'll see some people just do it down. I just do it down and up 3 times in that crease. And then we'll go back again. Loose fist on the femur, outsides of the knees, outsides of the ankles, tops of the feet, insides of the ankles, insides of the knees, and then rubbing the quad. So let's get started. You might want a wider stance, as I said before, so that you can get to the inside, but you can always readjust along the way if you need to. So let's go back and let's actually do a little bit of more drumming on the back. Get that nice and warmed up. And rub if you need to. You can do some rubbing or massaging if there's a spot that feels like it needs a little bit of attention. You can poke around in there. And then we've got our fists, and we're gonna drum on the femur 3 times. So same rhythm as we did the upper body. 1, 2, 3, palms open. 1, 2, 3, ankles. 1, 2, 3, tops of the feet. 1, 2, 3, inner ankles. 1, 2, 3, inner knees. 1, 2, 3. And then blades of the hands, we're going to do the quad. Fists again. 1, 2, 3 on the femur, knees, open hands. Outside the ankles, tops of the feet, inner ankles, inner knees, and the quad. Good. One more round. Light fists. 1, 2, 3. Palms. 1, 2, 3. Ankles. 1, 2, 3. Feet. 1, 2, 3. Ankles. 1, 2, 3. Inner knees. And the quad. And that will loosen everything up for us. There's other drumming that we can do, but I will save that for another video. So I'll see you guys next week, and thank you so much. And yay, it's getting to be cooler weather. I'm sure not everybody agrees with that, but I love it. See ya.